evening, everybody. It's Johnny Seville from Acorn Wealth, and this is your executive summary for stock setups for Wednesday, the 12th of April. Now, we're, of course, once again, our open range has failed to signal a direction one way or the other. So we are yet to see an open range indicator for a bullish or bearish sentiment for the majority of April's remainder of trading. Having a look at the pattern, however, on the S&P 500, if I turn the chart upside down here, we'll just take these moving averages off for a moment so you can focus on the oscillating move. What you'll notice is that we do have the a potential inverted head and shoulders. So I'm turning the chart upside down here. You can see the left shoulder here, head, and then this kind of right shoulderish action where we bounced off of that level again today. So on the daily chart, that warns of that possible inverted head and shoulders, which would signal an advance if we broke out of that to up towards just under the 2420 area. Now, having a look at the hourly chart, you can actually see that the S&P 500 is in fact has just broken down from an upward channel, and that pattern suggests a bearish move to a breakdown on the S&P 500 to 2325, which would bring us back down towards the lows that we saw previously. So on the hourly chart, we're bearish. On the daily chart, it looks bullish. So we're still, again, seeing conflicting patterns in the time frames, which still means more indecision in the market. High yield bonds have also remained flat, and stocks above or below their 50-day moving average have also remained relatively unchanged. So so far the market still is in this kind of sideways motion, waiting for a signal, which is why we've focused on the patterns that we love best. Let's have a quick review of a couple of ones already in play, and then we'll look at my favorite new one for tonight. IDT, which of course was an indication back when it buy signal that we found back when it broke through $13. Obviously that's continued to rally really strongly, holding its exponential moving averages. So this is looking really good so far, up $1.20 from that breakout. So IDT is looking really strong. NUGT, NUGT, which of course is the gold play. That's had a beautiful run so far, up from the entry signal at $9.42 from a few days ago. That's obviously rallied really nicely so far, up now to $10.89. So beautiful 1 week rally for anyone involved in that. And that also looks like it's still got more steam to go. As you can see, this nice little almost cup and handle type of rounded bottoms. There's pull back, up, forms of consolidation. We're now breaking out of that, and great volume too. 31 million shares yesterday, 57 million shares trading today. So that's certainly very, very strong movement on NUGT, the triple gold miners ETF. So that's also looking like it's going to continue, again up nicely from that entry signal. COGT also had another beautiful rally today. Again, this is up from the entry signal at 420. It hit our first target of 477, pulled back, held the moving averages extremely well, and now continues up towards that second target just under $6. So I'd certainly consider updating the stop to $4.77 area to protect that. It's obviously bounced off the 5-day exponential moving average well, closing right at the top of the range, so that certainly protects that move so far and allows it to continue, and looks like it should with that nice bullish candle close today. And let's also take a look at the one from last night's alerts, BLVP, which probably one of my favorite one from the longs from last night. We were looking for a pullback to $2.70 as an entry signal on this one, and it pulled back to exactly $2.70 today, and closed up at $2.88. So this is looking perfect, and of course this has some long-term potential momentum. It's gaining really, really well, and could easily find itself back up towards 450, if not higher. Now, my favorite new long for tonight is one I found in our flag scan actually came from the fallen angel scan. It was a fallen angel signal back on March 30th at 450. Rallied all the way up to 6. Has consolidated back and forth here and is breaking out into new territory today. So this is my favorite from the longs tonight, and a couple of reasons. Number one, in this type of market, we're looking for stocks that do not follow the market. That's the most important thing we're looking for. That's why we're focusing on fallen angels and flags, because we don't want to trade the market, because right now the market's not doing anything. So we want to avoid the market and look for individual stocks. Therefore, we usually look for stocks that have a low beta in this situation, which is looking for stocks that aren't correlated to market movement. This stock, anything below 1, a beta of 1, suggests that the stock is not highly correlated with the market. This stock has a beta of 0.03, which is pretty much as good as you can get from a beta standpoint. So from that perspective, it looks really good. It's also got a price to cash flow ratio of around 3.8, which is basically an indication of how much cash flow they have versus how the stock is priced. A low ratio is considered good. A higher ratio is considered not as good. The industry average of this pizza company, based out of Washington, Vancouver, Washington, the industry average is 9.3. This one's cash flow to price ratio is 3.82, which is obviously much better. So those are a couple of reasons why I like this one, and I've been taking a look at the options, and there's some very heavy call action in the $5 calls for both April, May, and August. So basically the setup here I see is as a momentum setup is an entry looking for a break of 623 and looking for a target 1 of 937 and a target 2 of 1193. I would consider a stop at 543 underneath the low of this candle. You can see the reversal candle, which is where support would therefore indicate is currently at. And I'd be looking at the August $5 calls, which are around a buck 40, I believe. So that's my favorite long, and as you can see, there's plenty of room for this stock to recover, even just to those levels. It's not even let's just look at the Fibonacci retracements of this entire drop. You can see that bang, bang, bang. Even just a 50% recovery would bring it up to the $13 mark, possibly all the way up to here, the 61.8. So this is certainly something you can look at protecting along the way and let it run if it continues its move. Now, in terms of my favorite shorter term or day trade setup, keep an eye on EVRI. This one seems to be flagging. It doesn't look, I wouldn't be ready to buy this right away. I'd be watching its intraday activity, but right now it's building in a flag formation. You can see that sharp rally up. And so basically what we're doing here is we're waiting to see it break through its overhead resistance. But I'd be looking at a possible target around 666 on this one, which is a 17% move from where I've drawn that level at. And what you're looking for intraday tomorrow is that breakout. So you can see on EVRI, it's consolidating downward here, so I'd be waiting to see it break through these levels. Even more conservatively, you could wait for a break of $6 and then be a 10% plus projected move possibly from there. But I'd certainly want to see this reversal first before looking for an entry signal. And right now it is still in that downtrend mode, so it's going to be something you'd have to look at during the day, or maybe set up an alert signal once it gets past $6, and that's where I'd start to look for that continuation. So there you go. Of course, make sure you are following along with these. This is probably just the start of more flags like this in both directions, and you can continue receiving these alerts for obviously $9 for an entire month of access to our gold membership. It is wacornwealthcorp.com/gold, and you'll continue receiving these types of videos every night. And I hope you that helps, and have a wonderful evening. Take care.